All right. Welcome to Nycos D&D, the I-9 COVID-19 incursion episode of Fellstone Chronicles. Today's episode, Travelogue. Before we get going, have my players introduce themselves. I'll call out your character name, and then you give me your character class, race, and what books you would take home if you could take them home from the new Nycosian library. And let's start with the person who founded the first library fundamentally by his very action. It's Valere who kindly saved the non.
I'm Valere, the Dragonborn, ish, paladin, ish. You all know what kind of book I'd take home if I were going to take a book home. It has to be the excretory system of the Tarmakian.
Ish.
Has to be.
Ish. You notice the ish? That was another good one.
Ish.
He's paying attention again. Next, we're going to go with the person whose image the library has taken on because of his studious nature. None other than Xavier. And we get
Xavier, I ate a banana this morning. Are you jealous?
Yeah.
Very. So, I'm Xavier. I play the highly inquisitive Funkin Rogue. If I would. He does not have a yellow hat yet, unfortunately. If I was going to take a book home, I would probably take a book. That's actually a good question. I'd say I'd want to study maybe section biology, try to figure
another
out.
book on section biology besides the digestive processes of the Tarmakians. Okay.
Yep.
So two books from Biology 101. Okay, I got it. Tomato and Jack.
Oh no, mine is like a college level course, like into the nitty gritty. Like it's digging deep into those Tarmakian excretory systems.
Yeah.
Digging deep.
Tomato and Jack.
Yes. We are. Sorry, I was on here. What's up?
Character, name, class, race, and what book you take home from the Nycosian library if you could take one home.
I am Tomato. I am a wild sorceress. This is my awesome warhound, Doggies, who is very cuddleable. He likes to cuddle. He's a cuddled animal. You can bite your face off. And the book I would take, How to Fly for Dummies.
How to Fly for Dummies. That's a good one.
I thought you were gonna say How to Train Your Squirred.
There we go. That's true. Next will be our elf, who's finally getting her footing on where she belongs, so to speak. Mooncar Shadowstalker. I'm kidding because she wrote Mooncar instead of Mooncat, just to give her crap.
No, it's Mooncat Shadowstalker.
Yes, but it's Mooncar in this case. Mooncar
Shadowstalker.
It's a convertible.
Every week she's gonna make another typo, and we'll use a different one to give her crap.
Eventually, she's gonna be like Flurgle Mushmalga.
Thank you.
All the typos mixed together.
Go ahead, Mooncat.
I am Mooncat Shadowstalker, a Dayan elf from the 5th iteration. How I got here, God's only know. Because I was traveling to another place and found myself traveling in another time, another place, in another direction. However, being that I have no way right now of getting home, I will go ahead and
So what would you want as a book from the library, Gene? There's an obvious answer.
Making magic bows.
Oh, okay. I thought it'd be how to train your
Again?
giant bird. No, she wants to get a giant bird.
A
Oh
1,000 recipes for eagle eggs.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would be it.
no, okay, yeah, you are so right. But,
You lost your focus on Mooncat because that was her thing, has been her thing the whole time.
yeah.
So a book on how to find and care for giant birds would be, I think.
Okay.
1,000 recipes for chummy and bread.
There we go. Jake.
All right. Also, when she accidentally typed moon car, I just yelled out, "It's a convertible."
Nice.
Because it's the moon card. It opens up to the moon.
Rule 1 of Nycos. There is no moon!
No.
What?
All right then.
That's why all the lycanthropes are stuck in animal form, because they can't ever come back.
Heart's gonna make a moon.
Okay.
Oh.
He doesn't know what a
With the
moon
help
looks
from
like.
Shadow Stalker.
Jake, your character, class, race?
All right. My character is Jake Irons. I'm a fighter, and I'm a silversmith. And for the book I want to get from the library,
Jewelry designs from the masters.
that and cookbook of the land.
Cookbooks of the lands. Alrighty. He's stepping into Glim's shoes without Glim being here. Alright.
I thought he said cooking of the lambs.
Cooking of the Rams?
Lion.
Didn't even know he knew the Los Angeles had a football team.
Well, wait, I got it. It's not Silence of the Lambs. It's Sizzling of the Lambs.
Sizzling. Nice. Alrighty, so we are currently where? What's our story so far?
We are somewhere on our way, leading to nowhere in particular. Merrily, merrily on our way to nowhere in particular. No, we're heading to the Warrens. And
from Apex, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What was the last thing we went by?
These were the guys that fought the. I tried to
The
make
ant lions.
Yeah, the ant lions thing.
And
Yeah.
what else did we pass by?
I think that was that was the first farm out of town, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did the ant lions and then ignored some hyenas that we passed by. And that's the last thing I remember was. I mean, the last
Alrighty,
major...
so I'm gonna go over again for this group, even though Valera and Mooncat are aware, just basically for Scott to realize what we're going to be doing, is that the other system for determining how what encounters you guys are going to face was too jarring. So what we're going to be doing instead is we're going to be traveling 1 hex per day, basically. I'm going to give you a description of the type of terrain, the kind of things you might expect in that area, and any particular landmarks or things that you might be able to see as you're entering the hex. Then you guys decide whether you want to interact with those. I'm using the term artifact here to represent the locations and such. So when I describe it, then you guys decide if you want to engage with any of those, or if you just want to make best time through the hex and ignore. There may still be a specific encounter in between, but for the most part, you guys kind of will pick the direction, and then we'll use like a cadre-based decision-making process to get through the space and on to the next one.
Okay.
In order to make it so that I get the benefit of letting you and the viewers get more of a feel for what Nycos is like on a geographical basis, but you'll also have the opportunity to make a choice and do things. Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So, one more thing I have to do real quick here is get to where I can see my map. So, give me a second.
Find the map.
Nycos map. There we go. And magnify. the map so I can show where we are. And all right.
How
So
can I quickly save something? I'm sorry. I
Sorry.
need to save.
Just put a fellstone on it. That's the quickest way to save things.
How? Okay. The problem is somehow I can't seem to bookmark and I can't understand why I can't bookmark.
Well,
well,
we'll figure that out later.
Bookmark
It's
has
just
to
a
come
little
from-
star thing.
Yeah, but it's not up on my board. And I don't know. Oh, wait, star thing?
Gene, get some glasses.
No, there's a star and I click it and all it shows the things I've already been on. It's like my history. Damn.
Well, then it's already bookmarked.
It just may not be bookmarked where you can see it. If it gets to that, you have to click on the bookmark bar itself and see whether it shows up there, or you may have put it in a folder because the bookmark bar includes folders. There's a whole lot of things it could have done.
The only thing I had access to was menu bar, toolbar, bookmark, toolbar.
It's okay, Gene. Let's just play the game. We'll figure that out later.
I don't know if I can get back here. Okay, never mind.
Wing it. Just wing it.
Look at if I can't find the damn mark that says tool bookmark, I'm stuck. So okay, never mind.
Okay, well,
Just wing it.
We are live streaming, so let's not deal with this now. Thank you guys. Sorry about that, Gene. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe you could use the chat in Zoom because that won't show up on
Okay.
the screen. So the next hex you're going to be entering into, or the one you're going to be entering in the morning, is the last of the mountain hexes, because you're going to be going basically due east from Apex. The mountain ridge is north of you at this point, and you're going to be entering a large open grasslands area, and there are several field farms pockmarked across the terrain, and there are also the rest of the terrain is basically grassland savanna. We're on the lower end of savanna, so it's more verdant than it would be farther north. So the grasses here and stuff are quite green, and lots of wildflowers and things like that. In particular, on the end of the mountain range, from here you can see a small gathering of clouds. It seems kind of incongruous in the beautiful mauve sky to see a clump of clouds hanging around, but you guys are familiar with what that suggests. That might possibly be a temporal storm of some sort just north of your course. It's not directly interfering with your direct path, so it's not something that you must overcome before you continue. And to the south of this lies the crossing your path and heading south is the river that feeds into the Hool, the marshlands just north or just south of Selk. So you're close enough to recognize the terrain features in terms of that, but there is along the shoreline on this side of the river a gathering of buildings, and on either side there is a rather recognizable, I guess you'd say, structure that suggests a ferry boat landing. So apparently to cross the river it's going to require use of a ferry, unless you're going to actually have your horses swim.
so just for clarity, we're right above Whisper Mist, right?
Yeah, let me pull the map up again so I'm looking right at it. Da, 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 da. You're just
think we're in
above
that-
Western Mist? You're
Yeah.
just north. Yeah, you're just north of the Y and Whisper Mist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that first bright yellow
Yes.
thingy-majigger.
This is like the bread basket of the fulcrum area. This is how they get most of their food production is right here in this valley.
Great.
So, odds are there's not going to be great and terrible monsters here, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get quality food supplies north and west, so north and east.
So there's the ferry, and there is the
Just the little storm on the end of the mountain range there north of you. It'd be kind of-
Right. So what would you guys like to investigate? Are we moving on through?
I say move on through personally, because I don't feel like dealing with a temporal storm right now. But that's just me.
Well, you just came off of one, so I can understand that. You
Yeah.
literally just beat one, so
I mean,
Righto. Sounds fair to me.
But
but use of the ferry would make it considerably easier than trying to swim horses across the river.
yeah, I'm not saying let's not use the ferry.
Do we have horses? I don't think we have horses.
Oh,
We
I
can-
couldn't recall whether anybody did. I knew that you didn't, but you don't. You
Well-
never needed one because you travel pretty fast on the big old
Well-
dragon legs.
Okay, regardless, I would also like to use the ferry because I don't swim.
That's a really good reason to not cross the river
Well,
here.
neither do I. So
there
that
we go. There we go.
birds of a feather
Or fish
drown together.
Or fish out of water. Or it depends on how you look at that, right?
okay.
Alrighty. So,
To the ferry we go.
yes. Now the land here is like I said, pretty verdant and lots of fruit on the trees and such like that forming. It's spring, so it's not going to be a lot that's going to be quite ready to eat yet. But there are some berry plants and things berry bushes and stuff you could pick from, as if you wanted to amplify.
In Nycos, that's a dangerous proposition.
It is.
Xavier will try and do a nature check, I guess, to determine being familiar with fruit and berries and such.
Sure.
I actually don't have nature, but I mean that's the closest thing I can think of. And oh god, yeah, they're completely poisonous, but I don't realize that one.
Not one.
That one. Well, you can always name tag it if you want.
Yeah, sadly, I'm.
And that
Actually-
one's pretty considerable. So.
Yeah,
Actually, no.
I don't,
okay, so if you don't, we'll just. I'll use it. I totally have a comic influence thing here. Have you seen? Well, I'm sure you have the Star Trek reboot,
Yeah,
and Kirk has that weird allergic reaction to whatever the doc gives him. And
yeah.
His hands blow up like balloons. Yeah, that's you. You
Okay.
eat a
There's
few
this-
berries.
Whatever you do, don't eat those.
Oh.
Dude, my
Because
paws
what-
are huge.
Yeah, you're walking along and you're explaining, yeah, this is not a fruit you want to eat. And about that time, you look back and Xavier's got a mouthful and both of his cheeks are puffed out from the gobble.
Leaves of 3, don't eat me. Come on.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Wonderful, Xavier. I
dear
like-
Lord. Get him a banana stat.
Love, love, love.
Exactly, his lips get really large. He can't talk. No
Blair
spell.
will
no-
use
no
5
spell.
of his lay on
No spell.
his hands to
Yeah,
cure
there you go.
disease.
5 points of that. I'll clear it. Clear the poison. Yeah. Wow.
Good
Did it taste
God,
good,
man. You could have said you were that hungry.
But they look so good.
What? Okay, I have a weakness for fruit Blair. You.
Aye, but usually you stick to the yellow ones.
But these purple ones were so good.
I was trying to figure it out first, but after time, it seemed like an easy way to try and figure it out, and I discovered they were poison, so no, I'm not eating those anymore.
Hey, that's a good. 2 plus 2 equals
Equal-
5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, so we onward to the ferry.
All right. So as you approach the little town,
Can I?
Yeah.
I want to like grab one of the berries and try to use walnut. Are you okay, man? Are you
Eat-
dying again?
eat
You gotta
those
be careful with
berries.
the berries. No, I'm not gonna eat a berry. But I want to just turn it into a yellow berry with wall magic.
Well, you can make it yellow. Poof, it's yellow.
Sweet, and I leave it there.
Great,
Great.
great. And the new yellow berries. They taste oddly similar to the purple berries, but they're yellow. Still poisonous, though.
Just exactly the same. They smell the same, but they don't look the same. Great.
Still kill the same.
Anyway, the town ahead of you has a little sign out that says "Welcome to Mayhem."
Well, that's
What the hell's wrong with the names around here?
M-A-H-A-M, Mayhem.
Apex, mayhem. Next time we're gonna find murder and
Apex only means the top.
annihilation.
Apex only means the top.
Domination. Domination would be a good one.
well. Let's see what mayhem is.
Well, of course.
I could go for some mayhem, I suppose.
Yeah.
Are we gonna like get in a huge bar scene, bar
Well,
fight
this is
scene?
when we deal with things like communities here. You guys discuss among yourselves how you want to approach it. Are you going to use it from the standpoint of passive scuttlebutt? You're not going to actually try to engage with anybody. You're just going to listen to get local news. Are you going to actively pursue information on, for example, the landscape stuff that you saw? So you might want to find out what they know about that storm to the north. Or if you wanted to, but that would be you actively pursuing because it's not something they're necessarily going to talk about. So, are you looking for expository dialogue? Are you looking for random information, or are you completely isolated? Keeping yourself away from the others and being rather mysterious as you pass.
We put our earplugs in and mosey on through. No.
Well, you do have the disadvantage of the fact that you have a SecGen and a Dragonborn. So those two things will draw attention. Plus, quite frankly, Tomato is riding on the back of a war dog. So
Valer will always be listening for Scuttlebutt because more than likely it will be all about him being a hero. So
I'm
he's always open to listening to the fans.
I'm also interested in Scuttlebutt just to see, like,
I hope there's not like a monster bug called the Scuttlebutt.
the Scuttlebutt. There is a monster bug called the Scuttlebutt, but that's not here. That you usually find when you try to listen to doors. I used to crack me up when people would say that. I put my ear to the door. Well, okay. Obviously, the DMs invented earwigs for that specific reason, to really mess with you. And
All you hear is fake news.
okay, what about Jake's away from keyboard currently? What about you, Mooncat? Or is she away from keyboard as well?
We're all away from the keyboard.
Gene?
Everyone.
I'm
is-
here.
Okay. What's your approach? What's your philosophy on passing through the town? Are you going to be passive and just picking up scuttlebutt as you go through, or are you going to actually try to engage with the locals? The town's called Mayhem. If you didn't know
Mayhem.
that.
Actually, she's just kind of aloof from the whole human community.
Still in shock about not being at home, huh?
It's just kind of like, the less I interact, the less I get suckered into this place.
Wow. We're not trying to sucker you into this
No,
lovely.
no, it's just this. These aren't her people. This isn't her time. She just knows nothing about this world except she's been traveling with you on a train and had a couple side.
Well,
She's had a
I
whole
looked
life in
at
this world, Gene.
if we.
This
Huh?
world is for the birds, that's just her motto.
You said that these aren't your people, but if you think about it in long term, your people had to have sex and have kids, so therefore, these people could be genetically connected to your people.
Only if they were half elves.
What a wild mage thing to say. You could be related. I mean, I don't know, but you could be. Therefore, everyone's related.
No, I'm just saying is you're
Yeah, no, I'm not making. This.
that sounded more like a comment from Valara than from Mooncat.
Yeah, I know, but the point is, this is the first town we have been in.
Nope.
That's
you were
not
in
true.
Apex.
Well, yeah, we were in Apex because we were welcomed back like heroes, and that was, yeah. What do? You say no, I'm no hero, go away. No, she went along with it. But this place is a little town stuck somewhere, and I don't know. Maybe she'll just see what she's short and count her coins and figure out if she needs anything.
Oh
but
no, she's going shopping.
No, no, no. She just kind of figures out her coins. She hasn't had much time to figure that out. And that's it, basically.
Okay. So just checking. So
She's gonna redo her. She's gonna get extra arrows. So go in and get arrows.
she is going to go shopping.
For arrows.
What type of arrows are you gonna get?
Just for arrows, okay? Just
Just for
arrows.
arrows.
Just for
I
arrows.
don't have the money for a good bow, and so I'm going just for arrows.
Yeah,
Well, when you look in your bag, you do. You have like 2 gold.
Yeah, okay, I have 2 gold. But that won't buy a good bow.
Oh, okay.
What's
I
she
have
think
a
the
good
goal
bow,
is?
but I don't have a great bow. And of course,
Well, to carry a great bow, you'd have to be large creature. Boom, boom.
no, okay. I do not have a magnificent bow.
If you want a magnificent bow, you need to be a god.
I am
Well,
not,
when you open your money bag, you find a strange silvery coin.
No.
It's bigger than a silver, though. Brighter than a silver.
Nice.
oh,
Oh.
I guess. Am I familiar with this coin at all?
Well,
If
no,
you've had a
'cause
platinum before.
Well, it's minted after her time frame, so the emblem on it won't make any sense to her. Its size and the coloration, you would. I don't know if you've ever seen a platinum before, so.
Yes, it's kind of a. You take
If
silver
you know,
and
no,
you
no,
make it
we
a
know.
little bit.
Gene, we know. Does
Yeah,
Mooncat
we know.
Does Mooncat know? That's the question.
I don't know.
Let's assume that she doesn't. She just has a larger silver coin.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so when you walk into the shop, when you get to Mayhem, there's a granary and a counting house and a bar called Chaos, of course. In a place like Mayhem, you have to
Mayhem,
coordinate.
you
Is the
have
king
chaos.
in the counting house?
Counting out his coins.
Counting out his money.
He's in the queen
That-
in the.
That's what Shadowstalker was doing. She was Is she the king?
She could be the king, counting out her money in the counting house.
My liege.
Oh, you guys are awful. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that.
Okay, so Mooncat then therefore walks into the shop. There is of course a section of the general store where they do sell the practical items, and in the far back there is a rack of handmade weapons, and it's all woodworked stuff, and it's the sign says "Works made by Karen." Karen is spelled Kharyn.
Okay, I go ahead and I walk up and
So there are longbows from of ash, of oak, yew, all well made, all high quality, all with really well positioned leather handles. I guess they call them
Yeah,
Grips.
it's
grips. The grip.
grips.
Yeah. One of them looks like the grip appears to be made out of a scintillating white material that looks a little bit like dragon skin.
And she said, if I may, could I test your bows?
Test your bow? Yeah. First test of my bow is whether you can string it or not. She laughs.
Oh, you bow.
Okay. I think that's a fair estimation of what one is the right bow for me. And so she walks over and she finds a bow she likes.
You tell me what it looks like, because there's all kinds here. Like I said, this is a wood shop,
Yeah.
a clearly well.
From
a master
personal
carpenter
knowledge, you makes one of the very best bows
Yes, for a straight longbow, yes,
for a straight longbow.
because
Well,
the wood is straight and has really fine
Grain
grain. Right.
and good adhesion. However, ash is got a lot of strength for its weight.
Yes,
That's why they make it in bats.
and she
Can I
does
say
have this
something on
really
the meta?
odd. She does have this really odd bow a little bit further back in the group. It doesn't have the same handiwork, but it's made oddly because the handle looks like it's about the grip is about 2/3 of the way down the bow's length.
I have a question.
Sure.
Would you be able to, like, you're making a recurve bow, so you're layering in the different curved pieces of wood, right?
Right.
Would you be able to layer, like, have the main shot of the bow and then have the curves be,
Oak or something that's more bendable.
yeah, to give it
Yeah, it makes it for an easy,
maximum potential?
well, it gives you an easier draw. It overall won't have the same strength as the regular U, because the U's strength is in its unity, the singularity. But yeah, you could. You make for an easier draw on a shorter bow.
You bows.
Well, that's the one she picks up first.
The U.
The U bow.
All right. So make a strength check.
Okay. Oh, as soon as I can find
She
the-
tucks. You tuck the base of the bow behind your foot into the 1 foot, and then
No, actually, what I do is I stick it in the groove of my boot
that's what.
between the top and the
Yes. I just meant in one side of the shoe. Is what I was referring to.
yeah.
You're also assuming a soled boot. A lot of boots back then were just the
Okay.
insole was sewed to the bottom of the foot. I mean, to the bottom of the boot.
It's a total of a 17.
Yeah, it won't pull. You can't quite get it drawn with that.
Okay.
It's actually it's a stronger bow than that, so you can't quite get it pulled into place. When you do that, Karen across the counter, long-haired, lithe woman, thin build, ample bosom, and wearing a rather tight bodice and typical peasant skirt, says, "Will you want help with that?"
No, if I can't string it, I can't use it.
She smiles wanly and says, "Okay, feel free to try again."
Look, if I can't string it quickly in a battle, I'm dead.
Fair enough.
So I need something I can pull, set.
Yes. I am a bit of an archer myself.
I bet you are.
You can see from the tips of her ears that she is more than likely half elven.
She
Hey,
you have another U bow with not quite as much string?
hey, Muni. Muni.
Yeah.
She's an elf. She might have, like, some sort of technique that's better than the one you're using to string the bow. Maybe you should ask.
Again, if I can't string it by hand quickly, a trick. Okay. Yeah, I understand.
You could
Do
just
you
make
have?
you can make a second die roll if you want to. If you want to try to string the U-bow. If you feel the U-bow's not is too powerful for you, then by all means try one of the ash. She says I hate to recommend it, but with your physical build, the ash is probably a better match for you anyway, because I anticipate you're more deft than you are strong.
That is
She's
correct.
definitely deaf.
Yep.
Okay.
She need to put some more points and stat into drink.
She looks at it and goes, "No, that's no better." She tries the ash bow.
Mm-hmm.
And
DC's only 11 on the ash bow.
yeah, well, she made it on the dice, but
There you go.
she's not happy with the idea because she knows U-bows have a great durability
Mhm.
because of their very
Mhm.
nature.
Mhm.
Do you any chance have a U-bow that's not quite so strong of a pull as this?
Well, based on her physical build, she doesn't appear to have. She doesn't look like she's particularly stronger than you are. But she takes the bow. She does what you were suggesting, puts it against the inside of her foot. But then she crosses her leg across, so her other foot goes across the top of the bow, and she pulls. So she's using her own knee as a lever. On the inside inside of her knee, pulls the bowstring down.
She's
loops over
smarter
the
than you
top.
too.
She hands the U-bow. She says, "If you want to test it first, you can certainly do that. But I can. This bow is certainly usable by you. I don't mean to be.
Probably using that technique. I've never seen it before.
Really, I learned it from the elves.
Which
She's an
elves?
older elf.
Which elves? There's only one elf that I know of, the Inandran. Inandaran. Are you know what other kind of elves are there?
Don't say it.
The Inandaran elves. Is their kingdom near here?
Oh, the Inandara, the elves of Inandar live just about any place they want to. They during the coup, they basically filled a lot of the spaces where the mortals had been.
Oh,
Who?
okay.
But they held their own during the wars. So
The is there a community nearby?
of the Inandran, yeah, just north
Yeah.
of here.
Oh, thank you. I might see if I can stop by there.
Yeah.
You can't. No.
Well, excellent.
She uses that technique and she does it again.
Yep.
The U-bow.
Okay, so now you get to get advantage on the check.
Okay. That's an 18 on the first roll
That's enough.
and a 17 on the second roll. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're
I know.
expert.
Look at the other
You're
one.
on a roll.
No, she's
Wow.
on a bow.
She's on a bow.
Oh, U-bow.
So she bends
Roll,
the bow
roll your bow.
and then she knocks the string in the knot. You know.
Yeah. Karen turns. She says, "I'd recommend you use the target out back. It's probably not a good plan to draw that inside the building."
I'm not planning to.
Well,
She says,
you-
if
you-
I may.
she kind of chuckles. She says, "Yeah, but you did just knock an arrow." So just was clarifying.
No. She knocked the string. When you string a bow, there's a notch, and it's called knocking the string, as well as knocking an arrow. But there's a
Okay, I understood that you strung the bow, and that is the process of knocking is the actual stringing of the bow. That's when you put the bowstring over the top. That was what you already had successfully done. That's why I thought you were moving.
okay.
on to
No,
the
I would not
knocking
knock
of
an arrow. No, she would not.
Yeah.
And then she kind of looked at it. Target, good. Thank you. May I take it outside to try it?
Well, of course.
All right. She goes
You
out-
can't appreciate my workmanship if you don't get a chance to see it in operation.
Yep. And get a feel for its trueness.
Yep.
But
So they've got targets at 25, 100, and 300 yards.
she goes out and takes the 100-yard target
Okay.
for right now. Just
Sure.
that would give her the best idea of its ability to carry a distance.
Mhm.
Okay, I guess I got to roll again.
Mhm.
That's a 13 plus 3 plus 2.
That'll put it on target.
18.
Definitely. Yeah, that'll put it in like the yellow ring.
Okay. Um, she then puts an arrow in the. No, she doesn't. She aims again. She takes her time, does a smooth draw, holds, breathes in and holds her breath, and then
Let her
Yeah.
rip.
it was just a 12 plus 5, so it's 17.
Yeah, just inside the other one.
Okay. Well, she drops back to the 20-yard target,
25 yard. Yeah.
25-yard target,
Mhm.
and then
Now you get advantage on the check. So roll twice.
yeah, that's a 15 plus 5, a 20.
That's best of 2.
That's the best of the two.
Okay. Yeah. So
The other
that's-
one was
that's
only a
That's
4.
the edge of the red ring. It's not quite. It's not center of bowl, but it's a bowl.
She's frustrated. She takes
I
out her
knew you could do it.
she takes out her own bow, and
Tries again.
Why
Yeah.
why is she frustrated?
because that's usually not how I hit,
You do
especially
it
on a
again.
star. Wait a moment, especially on a stationary target.
Yeah, I'm saying, why don't you use the bow again and try to do a better job? Don't show her.
You
with
realize
her bow.
there's no skill; it's a dice roll.
Then
Yeah,
why are you
you
taking
kinda-
so
you
much
kinda-
time on it?
Yeah. Okay. So on that third shot, you actually turn to your friends. And you say that there's just there's only so much of this is skill. The rest of this is in the dice. And Karen
No.
said, "What's that? You didn't say that?
No, it's in the meta.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
There actually is. I mean, there are ways to get skills. This is what we were talking about before. If you, for example, do that hold, draw and hold thing, if you utilize that multiple times in the game, you can actually gain a skill known as absolute advantage.
Okay.
And if you have that on an absolute advantage, once you've positioned yourself and have that skill, then you get any hit as an automatic crit.
Okay. It seems I need to work some more. Yes, I would like this bow. I thank you for the tip for stringing it.
She says.
I guess-
She says it's only 200.
200 what?
200 gold.
Pick it up when I can.
Did you try? She says. You're a strong enough girl. Did you try the full draw? Because most people draw to the chest. Did you try an ear draw?
Yeah. Well, actually, she knows. I use the one where you knock your thumb in the cleft in your chin. Not
Right.
in the cleft, but right
Right,
under
sweet
the
spot,
edge
right
of the jawbone.
Right. But if you go to an ear draw on this bow, you're going to pick up an extra almost inch of draw. Then it allows you to convey your strength to the bow.
Okay. I'll try that one. So draw to the ear.
Mhm.
Oh. Okay.
So go back out.
She'll
and try
actually hook it right below the ear, right at the jawline.
again. Okay.
Okay, she tries another one.
In this case, you add your strength mod to the die roll as well. As well. Notice I said.
As well. Okay, that's 2 and 3 and 2.
Pick it up when I can.
That's 7.
You got a 7?
But she hasn't
No.
even rolled yet.
I haven't rolled. 7 is what I have. I have a 10 that would make 17.
So you hit the same spot with less effort.
with a leftover.
Do it again.
She tries another one. Now that she's got the feel of that one, I mean, one shot is
Right.
not.
Right. No.
So she goes ahead and shoots a fourth arrow. That is an 11 plus 7. A
So?
little better.
Yeah, it was as good. That was as good as the best you've done so far.
Yep. Okay. It seems I am going to need hours of practice.
Well, that's what archery is about.
Yes.
Karen
Thank
says
you.
200 is all.
She opens up her pouch. She takes out 2 gold, and then she takes out the big coin.
When she brings out the big
I-
coin, when she brings out the larger coin, the woman behind the counter, Karen, her eyes get a little big. She says, "I think I have change. Let me go look."
Okay.
Wait, I don't want change. I want this bow.
She comes out and very quickly counts
change
through
of
and
pace.
stacks up 300 gold pieces.
300.
How much was the bow?
200.
200.
But she doesn't know what the coin's value is.
Don't forget
What is
bread.
the value of the big coin?
Oh, that's a crown.
What is it worth?
She kind of looks a little funny, and then reaches down and pulls out another bag of 500 more coins and puts them on the counter.
Have you forgotten the bread rule?
Exactly,
Okay.
Jake. You get a BP for that. That was.
What?
That,
What was that?
say it again, Jake.
Have you forgotten the bread rule?
I did not even hear that.
He said, "Have you forgotten the bread rule?"
Okay, I thought maybe it was a platinum, and so okay.
It is a platinum.
Yeah.
But she called
So
it
it's
a
a-
crown, and she gives you the change for the platinum.
Okay.
So you now have a whopping 800 gold and that bow.
She
you're
hands
na-
back.
and I'm just waiting to see what Blair says that he sees you walk out with the bow. That's gonna be hysterical.
Oh no, she does buy arrows
Oh, of course you do buy arrows. Of course you do.
and quiver, and she'll get 60 arrows.
Yeah,
That-
but
that's-
the designer quiver.
That's 3
Something
quivers.
that goes matches with.
Yeah, 3 quivers
3
worth of
quivers.
arrows.
So she got 3 extra quivers over her shoulders.
The bow, 200 gold. It didn't come with a quiver. Come on.
Well, of course. I didn't say how much I was charging her for the rest yet. It was
Oh, you bow.
you, Bo. So her attempt at feebly going in just to buy arrows comes back with like 5 items instead. No, 65 items.
It's okay. It's okay. She hasn't broken the bank yet in terms
No.
of shopping.
No.
I,
So she walks out pleased as punch with this new bow.
yeah, I am.
Did she at least get it monogrammed with Shadow Stalker, like all along the?
No, she doesn't have that sort of hubris.
Why not?
We'll work on that.
She
Valair
does-
will teach you that skill.
Yeah.
He's the local master of it.
Yeah. We haven't even talked about the fact that we should give you the feat of braggadocio, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Too
He
funny.
has very braggadocious feet.
And everything else for that matter. From
Yes,
from
yes.
his toes to the nose. Yeah.
Well, if his feet are braggadocio, what do you think the rest is?
Not much. Ain't down.
Okay, now as far as scuttlebutt, because most people in the general store would be watching this exchange because not very many people can walk up and just say, "Okay, I'll buy a 200 gold piece bow," and not even haggle.
Right, she's pretty rich, isn't she?
Yeah.
Ooh.
She said
We
she
should
wasn't.
kick her ass.
She also said she wasn't, or she suggested that she wasn't an android as far as an elf too. So something.
Aye, but she's got the ears.
Something about very mysterious about her.
Very mysterious.
She also has a
Giant
dragon.
dragonborns just slowly leaning in behind the humans, adding in little quips.
Nice.
Oh well, the little dragon went with me.
Oh,
You gotta
dear.
let me know that stuff, Gene. If it isn't with you, it isn't with you. That would have made a big that would have made a difference because they might not have wanted to deal with you because having
Oh.
having dragons is not a commonplace thing.
Yeah.
The fact that he went in there without Valer at least gave you the opportunity to operate normally. So I didn't think you had the dragon with you. So
Oh, the little one that sits on my
I'm
shoulder.
saying
not-
if you don't have,
Oh.
if you're going to take it with you, I need to know that. All right.
Okay, then it wasn't with me. I left it behind with Valer while I
More than
went.
likely, Valer would know that and wouldn't
Right. Wouldn't have her go with it. Right. That's why I didn't.
not
know.
alone in a town.
Especially with the last couple of towns you've gone into, Valer, where they got mad about dragons anyway, right? So you
Yeah.
wouldn't want her to have to face that nonsense either.
Especially
Sure.
with the little babies.
Oh, when she does come out though, she goes someplace and find
I
buy a
can-
chicken or a rabbit or that's already been skinned and ready for the pot, so she can feed her dragon.
Oh, sure,
Aw.
sure.
Get one for me.
All right. So
Go in and buy your own.
let's see. As far as Scuttlebuzz is concerned, there's talk about the new temple and the new library that opened
Oh,
in
yeah, I
Selk.
forgot. We'll do that.
Oh,
And,
new library.
Where's Silk?
Where's Selk? Down the
We
river.
just left, so didn't we?
No,
No,
we
you never-
left Apex.
You left Apex. You never actually went into Selk. The train ended before you got there, and you guys went north out of town. So you saw Selk at the bottom of the hill, but Selk is the other campaign, so you didn't actually go into town.
Okay,
But anyway,
I
there's a new temple that's all the rave now. It's drawing people from all the Vales. It's a pretty big deal. And
Really?
The
that-
rainbow. The rainbow? The broadcaster.
The broadcaster.
You
Hey,
bought a
you-
U-bow, not a rainbow.
And Mooncat, you don't know about the broadcaster. I mean, you heard the broadcast, but you don't know when that came from. Remember, because you were
Oh,
from
that's
the
right.
fifth. You
I
only
was in
it
the
was
fifth.
echoes in the fifth. You have no idea where it came from.
Okay.
So you're putting context on Mooncat that she doesn't have.
Okay. So
But this temple is fascinating because it embraces both the red and the black at the same time, and they don't kill each other there. It's really weird.
but we had gods in our iteration?
Yes. No.
Okay.
No, you only had the avatars, but it didn't matter. You wouldn't have thought of it, Gene. It's just not. It wasn't.
Okay.
Not a thing.
It wasn't a thing back then. The veils is a totally later thing.
Yeah, I don't know about the veils. I was wondering.
Right. So when I started talking about veils, you started going rainbow. It's like you wouldn't have known.
Well,
about
this
any-
is us getting that anyways while you're dealing with your bow.
Okay, I've dealt with my bow.
You are dealing with your bow while I'm taking care of this scuttlebutt for everybody else.
Sorry.
The second thing is that the 7 princes have declared for the crown of Fulcrum, but they want to move the capital to the coast, and so it's not a done deal, but it's a big change that the pirates of the 7 princes of the sea are declaring themselves to be the leaders of the kingdom of Fulcrum.
Really?
okay.
I thought that one doofus was back in Apex.
Yep, he was. He was a.
He was claiming to be.
Well,
Right.
he's still holding that claim. It's just that the new scuttlebutt or the new news is that the princes are basically standing against him for control of the country. They seem to have the backings of the traditionalists, those that like the way the system used to be. So it's kind of like you have a government that was ostensibly being run by organized crime. Then along comes the law, so to speak, the Red Veil King of Apex, who was flexing his muscle. then he dies in the destruction of Apex, and so there's a bit of a struggle going on between those two.
Power struggle.
Right.
Yeah, Vacuum was left, and now the princes are trying to fill that void.
Right. Add to that the fact that the Graveling Rush hasn't yet panned out. As a matter of fact, there's been talk of the movement of a possible Grim army coming down out of the heights along the mountain ridge, looking to secure the Blackstone and the other mining operations.
Oh, I thought they were coming for the humans.
Wait, okay, okay, you said there's a Grim army, and I am not familiar with the term you said before in meta.
Which term did I use before that?
I'm so bad.
Gravelings? You know what Gravelings?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what Gravelings
we don't-
are?
No, this group
first-
doesn't.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. So
'Cause
yeah.
we haven't been in this area at all.
So it's a Gravelings rush, which they basically suggest it's a mining rush to go.
We did see on top of Apex, those corrupted elves were digging for graves.
Oh, okay.
But we don't know what they are yet. They
Yeah.
just look like gold stuff.
Right.
Cool.
So whatever it is, it's gotten the Grim motivated or agitated for the first time ever, and so the fact that there is a allegedly an army of Grim moving south along the mountains towards the coastal range is a big news story locally. Of course, there's no sign of it yet, but it's one of those. I heard somebody who talked to somebody going north who said they saw. And let's see, final bit of interesting news would be even this far south now there is the talk of the fall of Cauldron, how Cauldron was obliterated after the landing, so it was the first use of the horrible weapon since the destruction of Apex.
Okay.
But that news is just now getting here, 3 months later?
Hey, that's old news.
Right, so that's the basis of the scuttlebutt that you get, the passive information that you gathered.
Right. Well, I suppose on to the ferry. Eh?
Yes.
Okay, and the cost per person is 3 coppers.
Okay.
He'll thumb them a silver.
Okay,
Cover everybody.
yep, that pie back offer you back your change.
He waves it off.
They nod and thank you profusely, and wish you Godspeed on your missions, as they also are recognizing of the 4 of you. 5 of you. 5 of you. Sorry about that. No offense, Jake. And so we're crossing the river, and
Fuller looks slightly uncomfortable.
I didn't even get to
He's
do
not as
anything.
braggadocious as he normally is.
yeah, I think it'd be really funny if you're like halfway across, you start getting seasick just from the little amount of time you'll
Baylor?
be on the water.
John?
Just oh,
Don?
yes.
I was waiting for you to call out because I wanted to see if they have dog armor.
A dog groomer?
Dog armor.
Oh, you want barding for the dog? They do have the dog fighting armor, but that basically is the kind that puts a metal guard over the dog's eyes so that the other dogs won't claw out their eyes, and a coverage for their neck and forward chest, but it doesn't cover the rest of the animal.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That we'll go with that.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Just for clarification, it is uncomfortable, and in warm weather is very hot, so you will more than likely want him to not be wearing it most of the time.
Oh,
It's not like people armor at all. It's not made that way, and they don't think that way because they're not thinking of the dog in terms of war fighting in a community like this. They're thinking about dog fighting
Can
to make
I,
money
after he puts it
gambling.
on,
Yeah.
can I like touch it and think of light and coolness on it? So it's light and cool in a sense, of, like enchanting or something.
Well,
With all my wild magic.
yes, you can try it with wild magic.
Though
I'm
you may
sorry,
be
I still
just
don't know
as
how to do
likely to turn it
enchantment.
into a flower as you would.
Oh, I would turn it into a flower.
Okay. So you're thinking of wild magic differently from actually transformational magic. Transformational magic, you could actually do the things you're talking about doing, but that follows rules. Wild magic doesn't follow rules. So if you're trying to protect your animal, buying the armor is a fine thing if you think your dog's going to get into a fight. If you're not going to get into a fight, there's no reason for the dog to be wearing armor. So it's a catch 22. Yeah. So I buy the armor, but I wouldn't necessarily have him wear it until you know you're going into a fight.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah,
all right.
It's again, this armor wasn't made for the animal's comfort. It's made to make the animal not die in a dogfight. Because when you send animals to fight each other, they fight until one of them's dead or they're not able to return any fighting. And so a lot of dogfight dogs die. So if you want to protect,
just about all of them do.
Yes, 50% of them each battle, for that matter, to be precise, but most often.
Well, then we'll find them a better armor another time.
Well, yeah, you can find this. Again, you're not talking about a wartime economy here. This is a peacetime economy, so they wouldn't have war fighting gear at a local general store.
True that.
But because these are commoners, the idea of dogfighting isn't yet seen as inhumane. Because they're not even thinking of animals like that. For the most part. Alrighty. Okay. So we're now going to enter the first, we're crossing out of the last hex of civilization into the actual first hex of the Whisper Mist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So south of the river, as you're, well, it's actually as you're crossing the river, you can see that the river, not consistently, but from time to time, will issue forth clouds of mist that drift southward instead of going south and westward instead of flowing along the river. So the river actually follows the curve of that hex back north a bit to get to the coastline.
Valère has no idea any of this is happening. He is sitting in the furthest middle of the barge.
Right.
And he is looking like he's meditating. But if you get too close, you'll hear...
There's a bit of concentration going on there.
Yeah.
Xavier will not get too close because he knows how Valère gets on water, but he's going to try to do his best to kind of be like, Valère, breathe. It's okay.
So
you're
put
okay.
lime in the coconut and drink it all up.
Yeah, I see.
Put the lime in the coconut and you drink it all up.
Yeah, I see Xavier walking up, and for the first time he gets to realize, oh, I'm actually kind of in control, and he's sort of not. So he puts his hand on your shoulder. It'll be okay. little patronizing a little bit.
Oh, hi. Lime in the coconut.
Okay, maybe a hint of patronizing, but he is actually trying to.
I get that, but I'm just saying there's also that feeling of realizing that this is the first time when you've had the upper hand emotionally, because
you're seeing the chink in the armor.
Yes.
The impervious dragon armor. There's just a little tiny chink.
Has a weakness. And
I got an idea. I go up to Valère and I use prestidigitation and I do like a scented area of what is it called?
Pine Sol.
Yeah, well, not pine salt. Yeah, pine salt. Yeah, it's forest. I mean, so he smells the forest, and that's all. He doesn't smell the ocean or anything. He smells the forest, so he can get in the right mindset.
Okay. That's a nice thing to do.
I cut up my rabbit or chicken into pieces.
Oh,
And
good.
I'm-
And then there's the smell of bloody meat as she feeds the animal on the boat. That's good.
Oh,
Well, there. What's the matter?
don't talk to me. I'm gonna belch holy light all over you.
Warning: do not feed the animals.
One time he goes, "Horror," and just light shines through his teeth a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any mint?
Don't
Mint
talk
is
about
very
food.
good.
No.
No, no,
You need
no.
mouthwash. You need mouthwash and toothpaste to brush.
Shut your face. Each time I open my mouth. Whoa.
So finally make it to the other side, and you cannot believe how fast a dragonborn can move is when that gate opens and you're able to get off the ferry.
They're barely putting the
You
gate
say
down, and
there's
he's
a
waiting on
slight-
the shore for them. You know, it's a minute ago I was on that barge. Now I'm eating a taco.
There's
looking
a
away
slight-
looking away from the river.
I don't
Slight-
know what happened, but I was on that barge, and now I'm over here.
It wasn't a minute that took you to get there. Mooncat says as she walks off. It was
Where? What?
It was in seconds.
What's a second? I blacked out for a second.
Are we okay? We make it. We make it. We made it. Okay, good.
Why is the ground moving?
The ground isn't.
Why is the ground moving?
It isn't moving.
No, I feel it. It's moving.
See him dropping to all four just to make sure. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine now.
Stop it! Stop it right now! Who's ever doing the illusion of the ground moving, I'll cut your head off.
Xavier's just like, wow, okay.
I can see Xavier and Tomato looking at each other and then both slightly leaning to the left just to mess with you.
Cut. You bastards!
When she sees them do that, she leans to the right.
Nice. Add to it.
Oh, good,
Wait
good
till
God!
the- wait till the right.
Whoa.
Keep the boat moving.
What did you say, Jacob?
Oh my god.
Wait till the left. Wait
Oh,
till the
Jacob's
right.
not here.
The boat
As he's-
moving.
As he's still trying to get, back to solid ground.
Right.
If any of you have ever been on, like a ferry or boat, you get used to the sway, and then when you step back on land, it feels like it's
Yeah,
moving.
totally. No, totally. Catalina.
And so, right, so that's what's going on with him. And when you guys start messing with him, he's gonna vomit, but it just comes out as like
Boom, a little
pure liquidy light, just
drips.
whoa, just straight into the
A
ground,
rainbow.
blinding white lights.
Okay.
Oh
Wow, I
no,
didn't
rainbow
know-
colors. Bits
No.
of this and
I-
bits of that.
Wow, I didn't know dragons could puke rainbows.
Yep. Well, I'm special.
Yeah.
I'm very special.
Wait a moment, where is Jacob? I don't even see him in the picture. I
What do you
see
mean?
Xavier, myself, Belair. Oh, there's Jacob.
He has become a member of the party because Gene can't see him as Jake anymore. Well done, Jake. Good job. Welcome to the team. All right. So this side of the river isn't nearly as well as appointed as the other. There's basically the
Yeah.
tie off for the dock and a stone lean-to structure used for camping as necessary with a small stone fire ring. There is a pedestal with it looks like a paper warning written on it that has curled over time and is almost barely legible because of the fading of the ink on the paper.
I tried tracing it with something to see if I can trace the
if you
faint
just walk
lines.
over, you'll be able to read it. It's just very, very faded. It
Okay.
says, "This is your last warning. Entering into the whisper mists, you take your soul into your own hands, because there are forces and spirits within this realm that may or may not allow you ever to leave." there are goblins, hobgoblins, creatures of the spirit realm, and undead known to inhabit the region. Add to that the fact that there is a legend that there is a specific band of Merid that live in the Whisper Mists. So to take particular cautions and make your choices before you enter this area.
Wait, do we have to go through this area?
This is where the Warrens are. Warrens are in the Whisper Mist.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
Hey,
goblin.
sounds lovely. Let's get going.
Wait, what's a merid?
Sea person.
Nope.
It's when you find the one that you truly love and you put a ring on it.
That's only initially. Then they're newly married.
Yeah.
When they're ready to kill each other and can't stand the sight of each other, then they're married.
Yeah.
Ah.
So on the edge of the Whisper Mist, Valir's gonna check the Hagrid.
Oh, interesting choice. Let me go see. Yes, it does appear that there are 3 within the region.
Right, these bastards always come in threes. Hey, any of you want to go hunt a hag?
I'd be down. I mean, that could be an interesting study.
Whatever you do, if you smell something sweet, you don't eat it. Don't crawl into any ovens. And what else have we learned? Don't listen to pretty ladies, especially if they're ugly.
Okay. I get 2 of them, but why would I crawl into an oven? My fear would get things.
You'd be surprised.
Okay, then.
Alrighty. Alright. Had to go familiarize myself with the region and who these 3 are. So, one lives to the north.
One to the west.
One is supposedly in the area near the Warrens, and then there's one to the south. But the party already knew about the one to the south that lived. They are familiar with. Well, no, scratch that. The other group would be familiar with. There I go, falling into my own trap. The other group would know. The other group would know about the third one, the sea hag. But
No, that's not in my purview.
what? That's not on that one came off.
That's sea hag is not the same thing as a hag. Not,
It is.
Not part of the quest. Nope.
It's one of the third.
Yes. That is definitely.
What's
I
the
think you
opposite
would-
of that? Is there a land-based hag nearby?
Okay, Blair, I thought you would welcome
wait,
the opportunity to
Violet,
face
are you
Jack,
afraid of the water?
Great to see so much, but
Afraid is not the right word.
Mortified.
Petrified, cursed to exist. Baned.
Yeah, the oceans he considers to be non-existent because he would never cross them, never be on them if he could help it.
It's like I'm like a black veil and they're a red veil. You know, it's just we don't compute.
Right. So the sea hag sea hags
dragon
will always live because the hunter of hags.
They will be the only ones that survive in the long run.
All hags will become
Well,
sea hags because they'll be driven to the shore.
Well,
Be sure,
at least I know dragons and cats have one thing in common.
Are you calling me something, Jimmy? Eh? You said something about cats, eh?
Now I know cats and dragons have one thing in common.
I have to ask
Yeah,
Mooncat.
Keep
Mooncat might be willing
talking. You might lose a tongue or a toe or a face or a head.
Okay, so are we heading straight for the Warrens? Or are we going to go? It's extra distance for clarification. It's 2 hexes out of your way to go after the northern hag.
Oh well.
One is directly on your path because it's in the area of the Warrens itself, and then there's the sea hag to the south.
Warren's hag it is.
Sea hag.
There's only one option, guys.
Well,
There are two options. There are 2 options.
we should deal with the. Okay, the lair doesn't want to deal with the sea hag because he fears the sea that much.
Wait, what? Who? I never.
Well, you seem to be rather uncomfortable just on that little river, which is surprising, but I digress. But the Warren's hag is probably in our path to begin with, so we should probably deal with her first.
Aye, it's meant to be. Let's go. Discussion over. We've decided. Onwards.
Now, hold on. We haven't even made the rest of us haven't even made a decision yet.
Nope. See, you've been outvoted. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, you're outvoted. Let's go.
1-0. I haven't asked anybody else yet. So for clarification, the first hex you're going to be crossing is broken lands. The dangers have already been described as some potential undead, goblins, hobgoblins, and their ilk, and at least 1 hag in the region, not necessarily in the hex. Xavier, what is your choice of strategy for navigating this hex? Are you going to... Oh, I didn't specify. There are 2 particular artifacts from here, one of which is a hooked ridge just to the north of you that looks like a gargoyle. The rock face is formed so that it looks like the outcropping in particular is known as the gargoyle, and it's a stone outcropping looking over a canyon. That's just slightly to the north of you, but pretty much on your path. South of you in this hex is someplace that's known as the next hex. If you again, let me look at my map. I'm looking at the wrong spot. Yeah. To the north of us, also beyond the edge of this hex, is known to be an area known as the Bracken, which is a forested, mountainy hex that is lower. It almost is like a mountain that sank into the ground somewhat, and so the area is aquatic depression. There's a lake there, and it's known for illness and disease and corruption.
Okay, avoiding that less because of the water, more because I don't want to get infected with any illness or.
Yeah, you already had enough trouble with bad berries, so.
Yeah. So right. I'd probably want to look at the. Now
there was one more thing to mention, and that is on the western side of this hex will be the beginning of the area known as the Warrens, and so there is known to be a concentration of the Blinn in that area.
Well, that's probably where I'd head towards, but I'd also want to just kind of get a peek at the rock face, but if I see anything that looks dangerous, I'm gonna withdraw. I'm trying to stealth over to the gargoyle and just get a good look at it.
Okay. Everybody okay with that part?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey.
Next is Jake. What would be your take on it? How would you want to approach the hex? Do you want to just go straight for the Warrens? Did you want to explore the area near the gargoyle? Possibly get at least a look at the Bracken, even though you wouldn't be entering the hex. You could go take a look at it, or avoid that.
I'll take a gamble at the gargoyle.
Okay, that's 2 for the gargoyle, at least on the way. Mooncat.
Thirsty.
Um, she kind of looks, and as people are talking about where they're going, I said, "Do you think it wise to split the party?"
No, it's not. Okay, Gene,
We're
it's not
not
splitting
splitting
the
the
party.
party.
This is putting in your vote or your recommendation on what should be done with the hex. Then you collectively
Ah.
discuss it. I'm just setting up the framework for that by giving you enough information that each one of you can sort of make up your own mind what you'd like to do, and then you talk to each other about it.
I think I would rather go to the gargoyle.
Everyone sounds like that's what we're doing.
All right, unless Tomato has something in particular he'd like to say about maybe going north or south otherwise. And we have no answer from Tomato and Jack, so okay. So
Oof.
we're going to make a pass, at least a furtive pass toward the gargoyle, hey?
Yep.
Yep.
Okey-dokey. So, let me... One moment here. Alrighty. Okay, so as you're approaching the gargoyle, the structure of it is as the gargoyle is. It seems to be leering over the valley. Its knees pulled up close to its chest, and its bestial claws holding onto the stonework as if it's afraid it's going to fall. The wing structure towers above where the head is and has 2 parallel peaks, if you will, and each one of them ends with a seemingly impossible curved rock structure, which gives the concept of the wing tips being curved like claws. At the base of the gargoyle structure on the south side, the one that you're approaching from, you can see there is a cavern entrance, and shortly within that distance you can see that there is a large wooden door. Somebody has clearly taken a natural geological structure, and it may have been actually modified to make it look even more dire, but it doesn't look by any stretch to have been sculpted this way. It looks like it was a natural formation, but yet it's the angles and curves appear to have maybe been used, like a mold earth or something has
Be
been
right
used
back.
to modify it.
Molder. So this could be the. You said it has a door.
Yeah, there's a wooden door in the base near the legs. You're like looking at it as if from a rise to the south of it, and you see that it looks down over a canyon that separates this portion of the Whisper Mist from the rest. The valley beneath it is completely filled with the misty material, so you can't actually see the bottom. So it makes it seem extremely high in the air just from a visual standpoint. It may not be. It may literally be just mist floating along the ground. But from here, it looks like you're looking down on a top of a cloud.
I do want to escape further, but I also don't want to How big is the door?
Well, from here, it looks like it's sizable enough to possibly drive a wagon through.
Ooh. And how high up are we at the moment?
Well, relative to the bottom of the canyon, you're not certain, but from here, you're probably a couple 100 feet in the air, compared to the average terrain in the area. But the ground here, as I said, is a broken land. It's like southern South Dakota, where the ground rises and falls pretty quickly. There's ridges and rock formations and such. It's also comparable to southern Utah as far as being broken territory. It wouldn't be any good for farming, in other words, because of the steep angles and such, but it'd probably be fairly decent range lands if you could keep the cattle in a small area. In this case, you don't see any such farms or anything like that, and perhaps with good reason, as this area is known to be ravaged by goblins and such.
Yeah, so this could be a hermit just trying to...
Well, the 20-foot door, probably not a hermit. More than likely, it's something a little bit larger and with greater intent for it to have carved it into the side of a mountain like that.
Okay, you said the door's 20 feet, so that makes me think, like, maybe this gargoyle is home to a giant or something like that.
The doorway is big enough for that, perhaps.
Okay, someone catch me up on the last 5 minutes.
Just describe the fact that the archway of the door is 20 feet. A wagon could drive through it. He had suggested that maybe it was the home of a hermit, and then I said, no. With the size of that door, there was something with even greater intent that had built it, and that if it was associated with the gargoyle, it's probably fairly old, so it's been there a while. The fact that the door is closed only can suggest that either A, no one's broken into it yet, or B, somebody actively lives there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check the hag grid to see if the hag is nearby.
The hag does not show to be within the mile. No.
Okay, so it's not the hag.
If it is a giant, I don't know whether I want to bother that. But I am a little curious.
Isn't that kind of your thing?
Yeah, your curiosity should be killing you.
So yeah, he's
See,
gonna...
there's something similar with cats and monkeys too.
See? And
They both die from curiosity.
He is gonna try and stealth his way down and examine the door closer.
Well, to do that, you have to get close.
Yeah, so he's trying to get closer.
Alrighty. So, you're headed across that terrain there, and go ahead and make a perception test for me. Whoever is going to be your vanguard. Who's going to be the first one across that area?
I will.
Are you all going as a band, or are you going to send out a scout, is what I'm asking, I guess.
I thought that's what he was doing. He's the rogue, so he's sneaking down.
Just making sure that's what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, so 28 perception.
28. Okay. You can see that they're outside of that structure as you get a little bit closer. There are what look to be defenses built. In other words, somebody's piled up rocks strategically around a couple of different places along the roadway as if they're looking to ambush people coming up the road to this place. You don't see any people. You just see the revetments, the works. Looks like it may have been built to protect this place at some time in the past. Does not look like they're being currently used, but looks like it was made to protect this place.
Okay, so 2 things. How big are the... Like, you said there were pile of rocks. Do they look like boulder size, or...
Well, they're the size that a human being could carry. They're not monstrously large, but they are stacked and piled. So it took some time, and B, some considerable effort to have put these together.
Okay.
There are places where you can see that the stacks and piles of wood, piles of stone, have been supported or held in place by chunks of wood and stuff. So they did have at least some construction experience, but it doesn't look very professional. It looks kind of rushed, like they had to defend it quickly.
Okay, I'm going to look for any signs of like, can I see any, even though it's an ancient defense, is there any sign of what they might have been?
Not really. I
fighting?
mean, they're piled in such a way that if somebody was between, say, 5 and 7 feet tall, they could duck down behind them. They're not short enough to be insignificant. It's not like halfling defenses or something. It's like I said, it looks like people size or larger, and it doesn't look sophisticated. It doesn't look engineered in any way, so it doesn't sound like or look like, say, a dwarvish supported defense or something like that.
Okay. So, curiosity is going to kill the monkey, possibly. He is,
Gonna get even closer, are you?
yeah.
All right. As you get closer, you see that recent rainfall and a long distance of time has basically wiped out any sign of any tracks. So whoever built it sometime in the past and hasn't been here in the recent weeks.
Okay. I'm.
But,
wide?
but from here, you can see the scrape marks by the door, suggesting that that door has opened and closed recently, since the last rains.
Like, please. Judging by, like, can I tell how recent the last rainfall may have been, or am I getting too nitpicky?
You're getting too deep into it.
Yeah.
If you had a ranger or something, that might be a possibility, but you, as a rogue, wouldn't necessarily think in those kind of terms.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to everybody else that I want to.
Right knocking on the door.
Great. Hear the
I-
echoing shout.
Sorry for being a little too cautious, Blair, and I will knock on the door, but then.
You're shouting that back to him?
No, I'm just.
You said his name, so I assume he must be shouting it back.
Hello?
Yeah?
And I will knock on the door, kind of timid.
Glad to have you back, Stephen.
Thank you.
All right. So you've now closed with the door, and you're banging on it. Pound, pound, pound. You don't hear any action inside.
Huh.
Did anything exciting happen while I was gone?
Yeah, the monkey's trying to get himself killed.
Okay. So it's the usual thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
How long between my knock, like, is it?
Quick question: is there any berries in that room he's in?
No.
He's not in a room. He's outside of the gargoyle fortress.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, I'm gonna examine the lock on the door.
Okay, those of you up on the up in the regular the current hiding place, all of you get to make a perception test.
Oh, great.
Rolling.
The DC on this is only a 12.
Okay, then. I've got a 14.
No,
Nine.
That's all
I
you-
super ace it.
just need to know that you're over the 12. That's all that matters.
I see everything.
Okay,
Got a 19 plus whatever.
nice. So climbing down the face of the structure, literally climbing over the body of the gargoyle, are creatures. They're the same basic coloration as the cliff face itself, which means they probably rolled in the dust of the cliff face, but they're hairy and they've got their faces are somewhat prognathic, but they have odd hands in that their feet and their ankles and their wrists end in thumbed hands.
And we haven't seen things like these before.
You've
They're
not
not
seen
like
it.
Golem.
Right, they're not like Roll'em at all. They're
It's like little bubbles.
quadrupedal, but their movement seems almost lizard-like. Like their shoulders are coming out of their bodies differently than regular mammals.
And they clearly look menacingly down at.
Yeah, they literally are sneaking. You can tell that they're trying to sneak up on our poor.
Valaire's going to do his line attack to see if it can reach, or at the very least, scare them off or warn him.
Okay, so roar of the lion. Go ahead and make
Big roar.
Yep.
Zoom.
Big kitty cat.
15 plus.
Okay, it causes all of them to freeze and look in your direction. Down below, however, go ahead and make your perception test there, Xavier.
All right. And that would be
And you take advantage on it too because you've heard his call before. This isn't the first time he's used it.
a 26.
Yes. So you recognize A, that he uses it to intimidate, and B, that something is going on around you.
Okay, so my initial reaction is to try and, with that, can I see like what is coming up on me, or would I just have time to do a hide action basically? Because I'm trying to hide and possibly get my own
Well, okay.
surprise.
So with the fact that the roar comes and you turn around and you don't see anything directly behind you, instinctively you're going to look up and you'll see leering down at you from above is a creature whose face is reminiscent of a Gila monster. Eyes on the side of its head, except that it's furry. So it's got it has this, looking down at you, the fur falls over its head kind of like a dreadlock kind of an appearance as it's looking down at you. And it, however, is not looking at you. It's turned its head. Someone is looking out over the space towards where the rest of the party is, because he roared from across the distance. Therefore,
Okay.
it's not looking specifically at you. Your instinct, therefore, is to try to get someplace safe, and the only thing you can think to do is open the door.
Yeah, so I'm gonna open the door and
So you attempt to pull the door open. Roll a strength check.
that would be a 12, probably not.
Nope, opens easily.
Okay, that's not disconcerting at all.
No, not at all. So you're going to slip inside?
Yes.
Okay. So the good news, your friends, is that Xavier is no longer in danger from the reptilian things on the wall. The bad news is he's now disappeared inside of the structure. What is your action?
Valaire's running in.
Valaire's going to sprint
the
across.
rescue.
Going to run to the rescue. Tomato,
I'm running Jack. Let's go.
jumping on Jack and going. Jake,
Yes.
what's your action?
I'm going to enter the
So you're running across the space too. All right. And Mooncat. Mooncat is in shock. We'll come back to her. She's standing there just staring.
Jean.
She
Jean.
may have stepped away. She does. She's getting better about knocking herself out, but she may have forgotten that she did.
Yeah, maybe she has a phone call.
Yep. Alrighty. So we're sprinting across the space as you do. The lizard-like things finish their descent. Actually, the ones that are about 12 to 14 feet up spring to the ground. And as they do, they stay down on all fours, and therefore, from the line of sight as you're running down through the valley and coming back up the other side, you will lose sight of them for a few minutes.
Okay.
As you come up over the ridge, and actually get to where you can actually see the whole of the archway to the entrance, you no longer see any of them. But you did see the same structures he spoke of, the defense posts, and you realize that they probably have entered the works, if you will.
He's gonna go to the door and open it up.
Okie dokie. As you head towards the door, they will attempt to ambush you. Since you're going to be, what's your move rate? Is it 30 or 40?
30.
30.
Or
Okay,
35,
so
I'm not
and
sure.
Tomato, actually, Jack could actually be there faster.
Can I use color spray?
Of course, you can use color spray.
Nice.
It's kind of your modus operandi at this point.
Yeah.
Oh god, we are so similar.
So roll your, what is it, 66 at this point? What is your, what is it for you?
Yeah,
Hello.
it's D6. Oh god.
How many D6 though? Based on your level.
I'm
and,
level
and what level are you casting the spell at?
level 4.
Look at the spells.
Look
Make
at
sure
the
you know
spell.
what it does.
Alright.
And you're not casting it as, you're casting it as a level 4, not at level 4.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not capable of casting level 4 spells yet, I don't think.
No.
There we go. I love my internet. It's the best. Oh, fucking amazing stuff. Sorry about that. My internet stopped working on my computer.
Well, if it's working on your refrigerator, then use your refrigerator.
I would. You know, someone played a game, Fortnite on the refrigerator.
Not
And
surprising.
Skyrim.
Not surprising.
Alright, color spree. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a slot of second level or higher, roll an additional 2d10 each slot level above first.
It's a 15-foot cone originating from you are affecting in ascending order of their current hit points.
So I just need
60.
how
Determine
many
the creature
dice?
With the lowest, he does
60 10. I get 60 10, and I add another.
Where do you
2d.
see the 60-10? Oh yeah, 60-10. There it is. Yep,
Let's
60-10
break up.
hit points of creatures. So
Right.
it's hit points, not hit dice. Or
Right,
anything.
right. I knew that. So you know
Color
how,
spray got power.
go ahead and roll, and then they get to each make saves, and if they fail to save, they go down.
Well, they don't go down. They just get blinded.
No, that's right.
Well, if they're climbing a wall.
They're not. They're on the ground. Remember, I told you they descended.
Okay. Okay. D10 is the percentage dice. Am I right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they're just blinded.
80. 70.
It's 8 and a 7 is 15.
It's 1.
16.
17.
16 and 7 is 23.
And another. No, this is 9.
What is it?
It's a 9.
20 has 34.
And
Sorry, 32. And then one more. Yep.
9.
All right. And
So 41.
yeah. Ha!
3.
Lovely dice rolls on my part, and the two that were charging you, that comes screeching to a halt, blinking in the in the afternoon sun. Their eyes nictating, lenses passing over their eyes and not helping at all to clear their vision. So there are two of them in the opening, but they did not actually close with you, Valere. So you can run between them and make it to the door. I'll come back to the action for just a second. In case of Xavier, once
I'm
you
back.
get inside, okay, Xavier, once you get inside, what do? Your eyes are adjusting to the darkness, and you can feel the cool expanse of a cave inside.
Okay.
Are you going to stand at the door and wait to defend yourself against the attacks, or are you moving deeper into the place?
Well, I was just like, I will lean against the door and see what I can do. I was just using it to get inside to prevent myself from being attacked. So
right, gotcha. You're thinking more about the attack from outside than what's inside the room. I got you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Tomato, you've done your spell. Is Jack turning to attack one of the
Nope,
creatures
we're
that's
running through.
blinded? Or are you going right onto the door as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you and Valera get to the door about the same time. Mooncat, you're kind of dazed on the side of the wall. The quick version is that you were standing watching as Xavier approached the gargoyle structure. He saw a door in the side of it, went to investigate. As he got close to investigating it,
Yeah, I heard all that part. I guess it was the last couple minutes when after the creatures were crawling down the wall and we spotted them.
right. Okay. So Valere used his roar effect to draw them from paying attention to Xavier long enough for Xavier to do something. Xavier, fortunately / unfortunately, decided to duck inside the door, which took him out of the line of sight of you guys. And so Valere and Tomato took off running to engage them. Jake's pursuing them, and then it was left to you. Since you were not here, I basically said that because of your earlier statement, you were sort of dazed, but now you kind of regained your consciousness, and you can see that the creatures two of them have bolted from their cover and are heading after your party members. Of course, you've got
Okay.
that new bow, and you're at a range of about 250 yards.
Yeah, and I'm Horde Breaker now because it's a ranger thing, and I can shoot 2 arrows, so one at one at the other.
Nice.
Okay. She draws her strength all the way back to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I rolled a 12 plus 7, 19.
Oh, that definitely hit. Roll damage.
Okay, D8. 3 plus 3. Do I get a strength? Is that a strength bow?
Yes.
Okay, plus 2.
So
2,
You
2,
get your dex
7.
and your strength.
Right.
I know.
8
7
damage.
points. I rolled low.
3 plus
Oh.
3 plus 2 is 8, Gene.
Oh, wait.
8.
Can't be. 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7.
I heard
sir.
3 plus 3 plus 2 is what I heard. So.
No, 3 plus 2 plus 2.
Okay, 7. That's damage.
Okay, I'm sorry. I might not have spoken clearly.
No problem.
That's to hit.
Second shot. That was the wound.
That was
the
the
Okay,
wound,
that's a 15 plus 7, so that's a hit.
Yep.
You can roll better.
Yeah, she got a 19 on the first attack after modifiers.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's a 5 plus
2 plus 2, so 9. Okay,
Five.
both of them are wounded,
5.
and when they're hit with the arrows, they instinctively spit, because it's blinded. It's a disadvantage, but this would be they spit acid at the. They were heading towards your party members.
Yeah.
Tomato blinded them, so they stopped moving, but then you hit them, so they're going to try to spit just to see how that works. And let's see, 16 and 15 against Tomato.
What?
That's the roll to hit. 16 to hit and a 15 to hit. What's your armor class?
14.
Okay, so the 15 will hit, and now on. I rolled a 2, so no matter what I do, I'm going to miss with the one on Valere. So.
Hold up. Just a second. Any creature within reach takes opportunity attacks, even if it disengaged. If they attack someone else, you get to attack them. So anyone who is within my reach who attacks someone other than me.
But they're not in.
I
They're
get-
not in reach. They're
Okay.
spitting at range.
I'm just trying to use something I've never used before.
I got you. I got you. No, you're exactly right. That's your protector roll stuff. Yep.
Yep.
So, Tomato, you take 7 points of damage,
All right.
but your dog takes 21.
No. DP, use it. Nah, no, reroll that bullshit. Nope.
Okay, rerolling the damage, 15 instead of 21.
How much life does he have?
3d6 plus 2.
3d6. Give me a second. Finding my d6. 5.
No, that's already done to your dog. You don't need dice.
No, he hadn't rolled his hit points for the dog. He doesn't know how many.
Oh,
He doesn't have any hit points the dog has, so I just told him it's 3d6 plus 2.
16. Wait, 3d6.
Yep.
So then it was 15. And then plus 2.
Yep.
So that'll be 17.
So 17, I did 15 to the dog. So the dog is severely wounded. It
You
yelps.
son of a bitches!
It yelps and pitches you to the ground. Make a dex save to land on your feet.
Fuck me, man.
DC
4.
DC is 14. You made a 4? Okay.
Yeah.
You'll take
Forgot how much. What's
just a
the heck?
second, just a second. You'll take 7 points of damage as you hit the ground hard. You weren't expecting to be pitched like that. So you take 7 damage as your shoulder digs into the ground.
Hmm.
Of course, you're more concerned over your dog, so that kind of makes sense for you to be completely disoriented as you get thrown.
Can I? Ah, man.
So could you be clear about how many are there in front of us that are closing in on
There are
us?
just 2, and they just used an area of effect attack, which is their breath weapon, which is an acid splash. There are
Okay.
no others currently visible. The rest of them are probably hiding in the stone bunkers, if you will, to the left of you. But you have now made it to the door. Tomato's on the ground just short of the door. His dog is on the ground behind him, yelping, probably in pain after getting hit so hard.
Okay, so Valaire's going to do a free action to hit the door and say, "Get your ass out here, monkey boy," and then he's gonna leap and jump into the fray against the 2.
Okay. Well, they're blinded, so they won't even see you coming, so that's fine. So that is your. Go ahead, and I will give you 1 attack because you're going to use part of your actions to actually knock on the door and all that. So
That is a free object interaction, I would argue. Because if he was at the door, basically as you turn around, he just taps.
okay,
and
fair
turns
enough,
down.
fair enough, and you'd have enough move to charge back. So okay,
Right.
so there's a
Okay.
bang on the door, and then you jump back.
Okay, so first attack.
Yep.
Is a, let's see, what do I have? 8, 9, 10, 12, 22.
Jacob, you're making a lot of noise.
Sorry.
Second attack is a 16.
Just put yourself on silent for a second. Here, thanks, Jake. You'll hit with both of those.
Okay, so my damage is, okay,
I think your strength bonus enough is enough to kill it. So
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 for the first one. 6.
yeah, you killed it. It's dead.
And 16 for the second.
Yep. Yeah, definitely obliterated one of them. Just took him right down. Xavier, you just heard the door rattle as your associate says, "Get out of here."
Well, there was an attack on each, so 16 was for the second one.
okay. I didn't know that you could switch targets on multiple attacks. So they had to go with
If
the
they're
same
within the
target.
5 feet.
Ah, that's right. You're a defender. Okay. They'll both be dead. They'll both be dead between the. Well, they won't be dead, but they're both. You hit them both. Neither one of them will be dead actually, but they're both been hit, and they're blinded, so they can't do anything about that. Xavier, it's your action.
So can I open the door, run out, and sneak attack one of them with my short sword?
Well, okay. So sneak attack, you could flank them, but it wouldn't matter because they're already blinded, so there's not going to be any additional modifier. The only modifier is it gives you advantage on the attack. And covering the distance would be the advantage because you can do that, right? You have the dash as a bonus action.
Yeah,
Yeah. So with the bonus action, you can definitely get there.
yeah.
So you come sprinting out for one of the two, the weaker one or the stronger one.
I'll go for the stronger one,
Okay.
figuring
Go ahead, roll to hit.
so I don't get advantage.
No, you totally get advantage. Totally get advantage.
Hello?
So that would be well, it's gonna be the same either way. 12 to hit.
12. Only because of the fact that they don't get their dex modifier. You hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
So D6 plus 2. Do I get the 2d6 for sneak attack or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
because they're blinded. They have
No,
no
it's because
dex.
you're a rogue and you're getting a flank, and they're blind. Because they're blinded, you automatically get the flank.
Hey,
12 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Dead.
Actually, 14.
Definitely dead. Definitely dead. And Jake, you've charged across the space as well. It's your turn to attack. One left.
Alright, I'm gonna use my. Wait, how far?
You closed with them. You ran
No,
across the space.
I'm gonna use my crossbow.
Okay. Your advantage at crossbow range. Go ahead.
Oh,
13.
That's with advantage. You roll twice, remember. Take the better of the two.
Oh,
Roll the d20 again.
18.
Okay, so you take the 18. That works. Roll damage.
Eight.
Okay, yep, he's dead as well. Alright, everybody got to put some damage into those things. They're dead. Dead, dead, dead. You hear hissing coming from the revetments to the left side of the roadway. Apparently, they're really brave en masse, but not so much when they're equal or outnumbered. So they're
Blair charges in.
you'll see them just scamper back across the rocks, and due to the fact that it's rugged terrain and their native terrain, they will outstrip you as far as distance. They're going to climb straight up the rock face.
Just a second.
You will be able to use your breath weapon on one of
I
them.
believe Valer can, because he's wearing the dragon armor and everything. I think he's able to do the dragon's fearful presence. I don't remember. I'm seeing if I can have it written anywhere. If not, it's fine. But then yeah, he'll do the breath weapon and
Yeah, best you can get is one more. Go ahead and roll to smack him.
Rarg! 19 on the dice plus
Roll all your damage. It's probably dead.
a few. How many d6 did we say? Because he's level 9 now.
I don't remember.
Just 3d6, then went up.
I'll go look it up.
7, 13. 21 damage. 3d6 plus the charisma mod.
Breath weapon. 5d6 at 16th, so you're not there yet. 4d6 only at 11th, so you are 3d6.
Okay, then yeah. 21 damage.
Oh, it's enough. You roast him. You light him up, literally. Get it? Light him up.
Pew!
All right.
Okay, so you killed 3 of these hairy, lizard-like things.
Right, you bastards!
She goes over to the dog,
Mhm.
and I have at least cure light wounds.
Okay,
She also
Cure light.
washes off the wounds, but she does cure light.
okay, go ahead and do the cure light.
A ranger can do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
rangers.
Well, I
have
can
a-
just do my lay on hand.
6 plus 1.
Yes, but you have a party member down. Tomato got hurt too. Pretty bad.
Right, but I can do 9 times 5 points of damage.
Yep. So you can
Go
more than
over and
likely fix
heal
them both.
him. Yeah. But I did put in,
She wanted help with putting in
Okay.
for the dog because the dog got hurt so bad.
yeah, and it's screaming. And
And,
So he'll give each one 15 points.
All right.
Thank you.
and
I gave 5 plus 1.
well, the interesting thing is there appears to be, as I was trying to hide from these weird lizard things, that is the only reason I went in there. There seems to be a natural cave in that door. So,
Hey, I'm sure
On
it
the
is.
door?
well, the door leads to a natural cave. I
Okay.
don't know whether you guys want to mess with that or just move on. Either way is fine with me.
Well, we killed our way to get in. Might as well look around.
Okay.
Can't be worse than the outside, right?
She picks her, she picks her arrows out of the critters.
I'm hugging Jack.
If there's a shaft broken, she'll save the head and the fletching.
Hey, tomato.
Yeah.
Maybe you could put at least the chest plate on him. Maybe it's not as uncomfortable, but give him a wee little bit extra. Eh?
No, I didn't put it on right now.
No.
And I'm gonna like try to use mage armor, like since I'm on him. I'm gonna like use mage armor on both of us.
That's not how that works.
Oh fuck that. Sorry.
Mage armor you can do on one target. That's the way it's worded.
Fine,
So.
dog.
Dog.
Dog gets the mage.
There you go. Dog's got better armor than you do now, though. Okay.
Mage armor was personal, but
Okay. So we're gonna go back into the door.
Yep.
yeah, and
Who's going first?
Xavier
I'll
just
go.
Commis-
I
Monsieur-
volunteer.
Xavier will, as we go in, just do a cursory examination to see if there's any makeshift traps around.
Well, it's really funny. After you've already gone through the door, now you're gonna check for traps.
Well, I'm talking in the cave.
Okay, so
Well-
let me describe the first part of the cave because when you went in, your eyes were not adjusting from the light to the dark, so I didn't give much of a description.
Yeah.
As you enter, it does feel like a natural cave in that it's got that moist coolness that it seems almost unearthly because it's so warm outside. But as your eyes acclimate, the area has a low sloping passage that circles the interior wall of this roughly 30-foot diameter space. And the lower level, which is it takes you half the arc to get down there, so it's about a 15-degree slope that you're walking down to go around the corner, is lined with piles of papers and books and different kind of accoutrements that suggest that the space might be being used for some sort of sage. It seems odd that there would be this many ancient books given the circumstances of late, but and particularly interesting to note that these documents are all of a written nature. There's not like crystals or anything like that standing around. Instead, it's just all looks like literature. And there's a small fire ring in the center. The fire is not going currently, but you can see that the pile of wood burned out in its place. It wasn't actually banked or put to, it wasn't put to rest. The fire was actually basically burned until the wood burned out.
So we have a resident just
Um,
currently not here.
The cavern does have another opening that goes out the back and down over large river-sized boulders, so it suggests that this place was at one time underwater.
Strange place to look at books. Too
Yes,
moist.
very.
Unless it's a way to protect them.
Moisture does not protect books.
No, not at all.
Uh,
I'm gonna kind of casually look at one of the papers, see if I can make heads or tails of it.
Sure.
He flips a coin. Nope,
I go over and check the
only
book.
tails of it.
So you're investigating the books and such. Well, you find that the writings are in multiple different hands. It's not like this person is a prolific writer. Instead, it looks like he's collected these books. Each of the stacks of books, as you approach them, each of the stacks of books has one of the river rocks sitting on top of it, about the size of your palm. They vary. Obviously, they're just natural rocks or whatever. But he's got them laying on top, as if to hold them down, like he thought there might be a wind or such into space.
Do any of them show the scored and damaged covers of the other books?
Yes.
Good question. No, these do not suggest these books actually seem to be in. Although in certain cases you can see mildew and stuff on the edges of the books, these books don't seem to have any of the surface marring damage that was necessary in the case of the books of the Manez. Instead, these look like actual pristine documents.
Well, that suggests that they're personal writings and not historical.
Right. It would seem so. Like I said, you really can't tell until you go and actually look at the actual documents. Even the loose papers are stacked in such a way to make them like they're stacked face down, if you will, which again does not suggest protecting them more than it seems to be convenience of the reader to have them put face down, so when you pick them up, you can look right at them.
Yeah, I will pick a stack of the papers up.
As you're approaching the stacks and getting ready to reach down for them, you'll hear a clicking sound from the back of the room. It sounds like it's a distance away, but the first thing that comes to mind is like the snarl of an angry cat.
Okay, I will stop and kind of step away and be like, I mean no harm. I'm just curious about these writings.
Well, coming up from the back of the passageway, his mane around his head is full and complete, but it looks scorched and burned in places. It's not regular by any stretch, but there are scars on his on his muzzle and on his arms. The cat-like creature that comes up out is clearly Leonin from the head and front shoulders, but it has a human-like torso, and the scratches on its arms are also mirrored by such deep scratches on its forelegs and chest as to suggest that it has been in many battles. The creature is quadrupedal, but it has a centaur-like form with a lion
Head?
Body.
upper torso and head. Yep.
Oh, so lion upper torso and head, and the
a humanoid torso, leonine lower torso, and lower legs and body.
From the
So it's
like
Okay, so a lion centaur,
lion centaur.
a lion tar with a man chest but a lion's head.
Right.
Oh, they talk?
Go ahead and make a perception test, not perception test, history test. If you have history, if you don't, you can make a intelligence check to see if you might have heard of these.
Oh, Valaire's the most heavily traveled, so.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, he got a 2.
I rolled
Yeah.
an 18, and I think it's at least 14. So plus 2.
Got 15.
Wow, everybody
I'm
knows.
just raw intelligence. If to say
Right,
that.
right. No, this also makes sense given where you were on the train and everything. You are familiar with the Seven Spears War, and these are the Wemek. This is a representative of a Wemek, more than likely a chieftain or sage of their race. They do tend to be isolationist. If they ever lose their mate, they mate for life, and all of that. So the fact that this is the size of the door now makes sense because with his mass, he couldn't have possibly gone through a regular sized door. His what little clothing he is wearing over his shoulders is reminiscent of like a shaman. It's like a shawl with runes and emblems all over it, and it covers just his the pectoral muscles up above, down to about mid chest, and then the lower half, lower 4 inches of it are beads and looks like bones, possibly tied into the threads.
The
of the
fringe
edge.
of the shawl.
Yes.
Hello there.
Welcome, visitors. I heard a call.
Aye, that'd be me.
Well
More than likely.
done, sir. You know no problems with the krill then.
No.
Good.
They were quite easy to dispatch.
Well, if you get them in small groups, I'm certain that is the case. But had they come in force, you'd have had a considerably more difficult time. They tend to be very courageous when they are on the advance, but when they're of equal or lesser number, they tend to be cowardly.
Isn't it equally so with the blend?
Most things tend to be cowards when they're outnumbered or outmatched.
They are, when they overmatch, they tend to be strong in numbers, but weak by themselves.
So what are you doing here, Dayan?
I wish I could tell you. I was.
How'd you know she's a Dayan?
Smell it a mile away. She still has the taint of the curse upon her.
No, she's pre-curse, wasn't she?
Yes.
But she's of the breed that was cursed, and so therefore she still smells like the breed that was cursed.
What?
Aye, most don't recognize her anywhere.
Yeah, I've been around a bit. I've had to travel quite a bit and learned to live in places that are not familiar to me. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Archer.
A pleasure to meet you, Archer.
Emissary of the Gorgonites.
What was the curse?
What was the curse? You don't know?
No.
Puts his hands up next to his. See if I can do this so you can see it appropriately. He puts his hands up like this and goes, rah, 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 big eyes, rah. Does it ring a bell?
No, sir. It does not.
Sounds like a bug.
It should.
I come from the. I come from another iteration.
You come from another what?
Time.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
Oh,
Aye, well, this is 8. I believe she's from 5.
Ah, well, welcome. Perhaps there's hope for your species after all. Just have to find you a good male and get you started. He kind of chuckles.
He's gonna marry her.
what do you? I don't clearly understand what this curse is.
Oh, your people succumbed to an invasion some time ago, and basically did the world a favor and eliminated itself.
My people are gone?
No, they're still around. They're just no longer your people. They're something else now.
Something even more beautiful.
She seems even more confused. They're not my people. They're something else now. What are they? If they are not my people.
Just hope you don't have to ever face them, because I'd hate the sorrow you'd have to face. I mean, I had to suffer the loss of my entire nation, so I feel pain, and that's why I've come here to gather regain some of my dignity by recapturing some of my old vigor at the cost of my enemies.
Ooh.
So, what brings you to the to the Whisper Mists?
We're on our way to the Wardens, actually.
Oh, well, I go there quite often. Maybe I can help guide you there if you're looking for assistance. I'm a bit of a bounty hunter myself. I found that there's now a going rate of a silver piece per pair for the ears of the Blinn.
What? What's the plan?
Where did you find these books?
His
Oh,
books.
I've been a collector for a really long time.
And why aren't they scarred?
Because they're protected by the river.
The river.
Hmm?
Could you elaborate?
The world's not responsible for the error and the folly of men. These books were not written by men. Therefore, the world protects its own.
What?
This is
So
more-
you're saying that these are records from other races?
So only the man books get burned.
Well, any books that were any books and any shall we say of the peoples that were corrupted by humanity.
Hmm.
You'll find works in here from the Grimm. There's some in there by some of the Peck. I found a couple in the ruins of old Trantor from the first men. Things like that.
Anything on mage armor and its the possibilities?
Are you a man of war?
No, he's just a man who's scared for his dog.
Oh, remind me of Elmo.
And
Elmo.
friend?
Yeah, Elmo. Elmo Brightwood from the Brightwood clan up the mountain.
I heard of him.
Yeah, he's a breeder of dogs. Lives up above Banbury.
Oh, Elmo. Aye. That's where he's
That's
from.
where the dog is from, isn't it?
I should have known. Should have recognized that. I apologize. Good choice of purchase, though. Good dog. He ruffles the
Yeah,
dog's
but-
fur.
But wasn't it a gift? Or what did you purchase it?
I think he
Yeah,
bought it.
Yeah.
He did
yeah.
buy it
Okay.
a long, long time ago. In an
a
iteration
galaxy
far, far away.
Yep.
Mm.
So he says to you, so Dragon, why
Aye.
haven't you ascended?
Too busy. Got work to do. I don't know how much ascending I plan to do, but
Well, I mean, the mortal form is suitable, but you certainly have the shine about you. That suggests that you're from the First Bloods.
First Bloods. They heard of him.
Yeah, the original dragons of Nycos.
Hmm. The Prismatics.
Of course.
Aye. Well, I do favor them.
Well, maybe someday you'll get the courage to make that leap. And he kind of chuckles and points to the sky.
Maybe. Too much work to do here, though. But maybe one day I'll find a way up there.
He has a mission to accomplish.
A few of them, actually.
Yes. The mission has many facets.
Speaking of which, would you like to, you said you were a bounty hunter. Could I, offer you a
That's-
bounty?
Well, I'm a bounty hunter of sorts. I collect bounties to cover my costs, he says, but in reality, I'm a scholar and a student of history.
Well, you know what's usually has a lot of history? Very old creatures do, and I may have a bounty for a few old creatures nearby. One in particular.
Indeed.
There's these hags, you see.
Oh my God.
He laughs. He laughs so hard. He says, I mean, this is a belly laugh. He just almost folds over. And he says, "Let me guess. You want me to hunt one of the hags for you?"
Aye, particularly one that's a little bit too close to the, water.
Well, unfortunately, I have to say that my
Rain.
my political proclivities prevent me from taking direct action against those who have not directly been a cause of great harm.
Have you looked in their window lately? See if they are cooking anything up.
I have
Might-
not. I have not. But again, they do not rise to the level of trying to change the world in an adverse way. I'm trying to prevent the adverse. You familiar with Quantivus, for example? So that name rings a bell with you.
His jaw tightens. It's very obvious, but he doesn't say anything.
He says, "Yeah, I took care of his minions on this side of the ocean. I know that somebody took him out. I can only assume that you know who that is." He kind of grins.
I will, he has a way of poking back up once in a while. It's really ticking me off.
Well, just so you know, he had an arrangement with A&A Shipping to bring those corrupted beasts over, and I did kill the 4 that came off the train. If that makes you feel any better.
Strangely enough, it does.
So, kindred spirits, I guess.
Kindred.
Kindred.
Or
Besides that, I wouldn't step into your path of destiny anyway. If you're asking about hags, good hunting. It's not my purview to mess with the local nuisances. I'm dealing with bigger things.
Well, if you ever find someone who's looking to sink their teeth into some sea hag, let them know there's a reward for it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You're trying to buy your way into heaven. I get it. He kind of laughs.
Well, I just have personal reasons to
Not go in the water?
avoid.
He's afraid of the
Hags.
water.
he
Shut up, you.
gets I won't say he is afraid of the water per se, but he
He's
gets
terrified. You're right.
uncomfortable.
You're right, Xavier. He's terrified of the water.
I will kill you.
Look, no,
Not in my house, please. Not in my house.
he just gets sick when he travels over the water.
Aye, sick. That's it. Sick. Oh, my stomach. Ooh, terrible.
It's amazing how such a creature of his
Beauty
stature,
and stature. Oh, yeah.
Was reduced to this.
Reduced.
I start to.
Can we change the subject now?
Sure, Jake.
are you getting green a
Jake.
little bit around the lips?
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I'm.
Guys, I need to talk
He
to
laughs.
Jake. Jake,
Yes.
there you are. He looks at you and says, "How goes the wars to the north?"
Well, I haven't known anything about that.
No? Well, you look like a man of war, a soldier of sorts. I figure you must have some kind of knowledge of how goes the actions against our enemies.
I asked we
Well-
not talk
well-
about sea
well,
things.
actually,
I don't like
actually-
Man of Wars.
Actually, I'm just a traveling silversmith.
You're traveling with these guys, and you're just a silversmith.
He's pretty handy
Well-
with
well,
a crossbow.
Well, I gotta protect my wares, and
Okay.
He has a
And I
bit of
gotta
the
do something
identity
for a living.
confusion.
Hmm.
He's a hero. We all know it.
So
There's the
you're
one
more
who
than
doesn't
welcome,
like
you're
water.
more than welcome to stay the night. If you want
Thank
to
you.
peruse some of my books, I will warn you: don't take them off the stack without replacing the stone over the rest.
Okay.
What? Oh, is it like
A
weight
magic.
sensitive?
The river,
Magic?
the river is protecting the books. So when you're holding the book, it's safe, but you can't lay the book down unless you put a river rock on it.
Okay. So we have to
Okay.
put it back in the stack and put the rock on it.
Yes.
Understood. Thank you.
Other than that, feel free to peruse them a bit if you wish. I will be fixing a meal a bit later. It's going to be simple fare, basically a pot of stew with some loaves of bread that I have.
Thank you very much. That's very generous
Yes.
of you.
That is very kind.
Do we have anything to add?
Say that again?
She's asked the others. Do we have anything to add to share?
Eh.
That's
Let me
what?
see. I have a book you might like to look at.
Oh yeah, if you guys have books, he'll definitely want to take a look at them.
You're a tar, but you're not a Tarmakian, right? That wouldn't
I'm
interest
not
you.
even a tar. I'm a Wemmick. But and as far as the book on the Traumakians, yeah, they're not. I don't need to read a biology book. That's no, thank you.
Okay,
But you do have a color book of dragons, right?
I
No,
do.
you gave that back to. You gave that to Snowy.
I gave her the ABCs of Draconic to Common.
Okay, gotcha.
I still have my dragon coloring book.
Oh,
And
I
I
do
have
have
a book of dragon history, and I have the Time Goddesses Sanctuaries,
oh, Time Goddess
Sleeping
Sanctuary.
Patterns of Dragons, Uncommon Habitations of Dragons.
Nice. Well, if you're interested in a swap, I'll swap for the Time Goddess volume. I can trade you a précis on the archons of Nycos.
That's a tricky one. Time Goddesses Sanctuaries comes in right handy in my line of work.
I'll be right back. I have a doorbell ringing.
Somebody wanted to put a ring on it. Her doorbell, I mean. But
Well,
Mm.
how about this? You can read it while we're here, and then we'll swap back before we leave.
oh sure, that's fine. I mean, you don't need to. You can just read mine. I just was offering if you wanted a permanent trade because it seems like you might find it more useful to have a book that applies to this, to the.
Now?
No, actually, he says to the 8th iteration.
The 8th iteration and books on it seem to be a bit too in flux for my taste.
Fair enough.
Too new
Hmm.
all the time.
Yes, the now does have that benefit. That problem with people. I got you.
Righto, so
All right, so you have a nice, safe evening, resting and eating whatever with the Wemmick. Anything you particularly want to know from the books? I'm not going to, obviously, we're not going to go into all the details of all the books, but any particular thing you want to read about?
Mage armor.
When you say mage armor, what are you asking? That's the only name of a spell.
Okay. I want to learn how okay, and the meta. I want to learn how the guy did your other guy who did the like mage armor with the special attributes, I guess in a sense.
What do you mean?
Um, to get armor for my dog and me, I guess in a sense. Like I want to teach my dog to learn mage armor in a sense, and then we can both have like mage armor together. You know, he would have his own.
Okay, mage armor by definition is a spell that modifies your armor class, correct?
Yes,
And what does it do?
adds AC to your
How much?
add 2. I think.
Okay, so it
4.
adds 2 to your armor class, or 4 to your armor class, whatever it is. All you do to have what you're asking for is cast the spell twice. Both of them are
Oh.
temporary spells. They only last for some certain amount of time, usually less than an hour, and it doesn't require concentration.
Okay.
So all you do is cast one on him and then one on you. That's all.
Or you just look for better armor for him.
Well, I'm just saying, in the meantime, you can learn the mage armor and then find gear. Once you get past a certain armor class, then mage armor no longer gives you a modifier.
Oh.
What do you mean? Beyond. Oh,
It doesn't give the flat bonus anymore. It changes like it changes your AC to 13 plus your modifiers instead of 10 plus your modifiers.
Right. And then once you got armor above the 13, it doesn't do anything to help you anymore. It can't make you any better than the armor you already have.
Okay, I see.
but since you can wear armor and he can wear armor.
Again, only up to whatever the modifier is, Gene. That's what we're saying. You can't get above.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. But I said he can improve his armor and therefore improve his armor class. Not the mage armor. He can improve any armor he wears.
Right, exactly.
Well, he's looking for a magical way to do it. It's fine. Valere will see if he has any particular tomes on dragons, and I guess if not, then he will peruse the one he suggested about the archons. Or
Okay. Yeah, there would be one that would give you famous dragons of Nycos. I suppose I can give you the names of those.
He flips forward to the V's.
And doesn't find one yet.
Ah, damn.
No, I take that back. No, it would have Valere in there.
It does?
Yes.
What does it say about Valere? Died in the 4th.
It dies. Yeah, exactly. Dies in the 4th at the hands of Quantiferous Brace.
Oh, well, that's new.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding on that part. It does say that you were fighting for draconic identity, but it doesn't go into the specifics of what that meant.
Do they have a good sketch?
Not at all.
Did they get my good side?
Not at all.
Damn.
Not at all. It looks like Phoebus.
Ugh. Does it have Snowlin in it? Or only Cywin?
No, it has Snowlin.
What's it say about her?
It says she's a dragon, a dragon hopeful for the 8th iteration calling.
Valere takes out a pen, looks around, crosses out hopeful.
Nice.
Puts the book down.
Nice.
Though he does leave a bookmark in it on Snowy.
Nice.
Because he knows that she's in this area, and if he's a good guy, he should probably know about her.
Right.
Help her out. That
Right.
sort of thing. He'll write a note saying, the best of company. Help her out when you can. Love, Dad.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we go through the night peacefully. Don't have any negative encounters during the night, and we're ready to start the session next week with the next hex.
All right.
Hooray!
Yay! All right, thanks everybody. Anybody under? I think Jake's still at lower levels, so 300 experience points.
Wait, I'm on.
Yeah, I think you're lower level than Valer, so you're
Let's
good.
do a level roll call. Where is
Well,
everybody?
I'm on level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boy.
Mooncat.
I'm level 3.
Okay, Xavier.
I just hit 6 last week.
Okay, Tomato.
Yeah, I'm 6 too, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just 300 experience points. Eventually, Jake will catch Jake, and Mooncat will catch up.
Okay.
Oh,
Oops,
hang on. Scott? Is he?
Yeah, Scott's here.
Yeah, I want to ask him about, like...
Okay, if you're going to ask about his game, just give me a second to close out the stream for the day, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching Nycos D&D and the Fellstone Chronicles. We'll see you all next time. And make sure you watch us on the other days of the week, 1 o'clock every day. Everybody, have a
Kitty,
good
bye.
night. Bye.